What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date? Because these guys don't want a real woman. They want a fantasy. They want to live in this fake fantasy world. They would rather jack off to some screen, to some robot, rather than actually deal with a real human being and what comes with that. You know why? Because it's easier. And I am done. I'm done.
Ladies, did you think that living your best life, having social media, artificial SMV inflation, ignoring 80% of men, calling lonely average men incels, labeling non-attractive men as creeps, going with the I'm not settling, I am a strong, independent, don't need no man, dating culture was just going to bring men to their knees? Well, at least only the imps. The point is that you created the OnlyFans gold rush, and now AI girlfriends took over, and that is cashing in. She said men want a fantasy. Well, sister, look at it this way. Women not only sold them a fantasy to make money off men, but women themselves want a fantasy too. That's why guesstimates will place 80% of all women wanting the top 20% of all men. Yeah, ladies, it's not like men haven't heard the 6 feet, 6-figure earning, and 6-pack having demands you made for dating, now did they? It's no wonder all of you are sleeping with the same men. Dang, fam. Just imagine how bad it's going to get for women when advanced life-size intimacy robots hit the market. Moving on.
Okay, let's talk about the time that I was dating someone who was constantly working and had a hard time dealing with conflict. When I would say things like, you're not making me a priority, you clearly don't care, there are more important things than me, that person felt attacked. And immediately when they felt attacked, they didn't realize what they were doing wrong. All they saw was, I have to attack back. When I noticed that, I started to do the opposite. Instead of attacking them, I would say, hey, this is how it makes me feel, and this is what I need if we want to continue things. And then I would show with my actions that I'm not going to text you as much. I'm not going to talk to you as much. I'm not going to see you when you want me to see you. And that shifted how the dynamic was because they noticed a big difference with my behavior. One of two things happens here. They level up and they actually put in that effort, or they realize that they actually can't do this anymore.
Wait a minute. She started off by saying the busy person felt attacked, and then she admitted it was an attack by saying, instead of attacking them? Fam, note how she set up her story to make it sound like the attackee is wrong for acknowledging her attack. I didn't even make that up. Now, I'm curious, since when is a busy man becoming less productive, leveling up? Ladies, the bulk of you want a man who is ambitious and achieves goals. That takes a lot of time and work. When you are lucky enough to meet a man like this, you have the nerve to get upset when he doesn't downshift and somehow makes you his highest priority?
That was the plan. Not a great plan.
And the person that I was talking to tried to level up, but it wasn't consistent enough. They did it for a little while, and then they went backwards of just making work more of a priority and not putting in that effort. And when I saw that, I still continued to stick to my boundary, which was, hey, you know what I need, and I've given you some time to work on it, but it seems as though what I want and what you want are two different things. Of course, I did this method knowing that I still may not get what I want at the end of the day, which is okay, because I know what I need, and I just have to stick to that. I have to give them time, I have to not attack them, and I have to realize, like, what am I doing that's probably adding to the situation? And as soon as I checked myself, and I gave them that time, and I still saw that nothing was changing, then that's just out of my hands.
Hey, all the power to this queen. Good for her to stick to her guns and get bothered by the fact that her productive man continued to be productive. And it's not out of her hands. She can definitely find a guy who has much more time on his hands to make her a top priority. I'm sure plenty of men living off unemployment and government assistance will level up to 100 for her. Even better, she can be a true hero and go to Skid Row and take a willing participant home full time. Oh, and for those of you who took offense to that last line, this gorilla in real life went out on Thanksgiving and gave out turkey prepared by my own hands to the homeless. What have you queens done for those less fortunate men other than demanding things from the men who actually have assets?
Emotional, damn it!
Moving on.
Why do women pick men they have to take care of? Great question. Let's discuss. I'm going to be really straight with you here because there's no soft or accommodating or appropriate way to put this. As a disclaimer, this is not the space for debate, so if this doesn't resonate with you, just scroll on by. when women pick men they have to take care of, this goes directly back to a childhood wound where they lost trust in the masculine. And the story behind it is typically something like, fine, I'll just do it myself. Or men can't show up for me, so I'll just do it on my own. And they take the role of the masculine counterpart in the relationship. This is also seen as like mothering your partner. Now, what's wrong with this dynamic? Essentially nothing, except that when I have a client come to me and ask this specific question and finds herself in the role of the caretaker, defender, provider, or mother of her partner, her male counterpart, she typically comes to me because she's flat out exhausted.
Okay, fam, let me get this straight. Women choose the Chads/Tyrones they take care of because of a childish wound where they lost trust in the masculine. Okay, I am no head shrinker, and it failed to dawn on me the reason a woman slobs on Community D is because in her past, men didn't fix things for her or didn't mow her lawn.
I was way off.
To be honest, I concede she may well have a valid point here. To my male viewers, for as much as you may want to call this some modern day dating snake oil sales pitch on this, well, let's step back and consider women use emotions instead of logic, i.e. there really isn't a straight line in the process. They don't do the ABC route men do to find happiness. They more than likely go out of the normal alphabetical order into, say, the DRAMA route in hopes to find the one. I will say this though, I highly doubt a woman who is in the provider role will put up with it until she retires. Sorry fam, men are naturally built to be long-term providers. Women, not so much.
Damn, skip me.
Or their sex life has tanked because there is no polarity in their relationship. So going back to the story, if you actually dig even deeper into the distrust or the disappointment of probably a father figure in childhood, you will come across a issue of feeling not worthy of it. So deep, deep, deep down in this woman's system, she actually doesn't believe that she deserves a masculine counterpart to come and protect, provide, and defend. And this is completely and totally exhausting. You actually have to do a lot of work to close off your feminine system in a partnership like this.
And it comes down to daddy issues. Wow, we didn't see that one coming. She was off to a good start, fam. Here I was getting my clipboard ready to take notes only for her to U-turn this revelation to Daddy didn't give me enough attention or Daddy was always working. Ladies, let me get this straight. We are supposed to accept that the reason 80% of you go for the Chad/Tyrone bad boys is because all of you had daddy issues? You know what? I will accept that under a caveat of the reason the bulk of you had daddy issues is because you're strong and independent, don't need no man, single parent, did her part to make sure you had those issues with your father. Hey, you can attack me for that one all you want, but that 70% plus female-led divorce rate doesn't lie.
Now that's a lot of damage.
And typically these women are starving to feel their desire and their vulnerability and their open-heartedness. So we have to do a lot of rehabilitation around their self-worth. And I will spend a great deal of my time with clients like this, focusing specifically on self-worth, behavior, and practices that actually strengthen their self-esteem, that typically have nothing to do with their romantic relationship. Really, when you break it down, self-worth is at the cornerstone of all of your other relationships that you have in your life.
Self-worth? Okay, I agree with that. My only add-on here, with all due respect to this coach, who is probably more qualified than I am, is self-worth should be rooted in reality and truth, not overestimated or delusional projections. An example is a 35-year-old average-looking single mother of two from two baby daddies who is the head nurse at a hospital, has nowhere near the SMV level. A 25-year-old average-looking childless woman working at a department store has in the eyes of a man who wants to start a family. Note, ladies, that is not a diss to the single mother in the example. That is an insightful view of how men wanting a family scale women on their views of a woman's SMV. In dating, your self-worth estimation rarely translates over to a man's view of your SMV, i.e., you can believe you deserve better all day, and it doesn't mean you actually do deserve anything above your true SMV, which the market dictates. Either that, or these women need to start going out with the dating coaches that tell them their self-worth is through the roof. I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.